Oh, damn it.
Talk about them before words. Sure. But right off the cuff, just like we started last episode, do you have an announcement to make?
I do, as a matter of fact. I have received a PS5. It is behind me. It's 10 feet behind me. It's very beautiful. I have Demon Souls. And just sort of two random facts. First of all, I want to say I love being here. It is. I look forward to it every week. I love doing it. I love talking. Unrelated, the other thing is, I cannot fucking wait until we're done this because I'm going to 180 in this chair that pivots and turn on Demon Souls and play it until a time that I'll regret in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know what time because I honestly don't know what time, but I know I'll regret it regardless of what it is.
Yeah, 100%. We not to stray too much on it, but we have had these fucking Lord of the Rings 4K UHD Blu-rays for over a year now that we thought our old PS4 would play because we're dumb. And we finally popped them in all right, let's just see what it looks like. Oh my God. Oh,
you just watched part of it?
Yeah, just a couple minutes. We just skimmed a couple things. There's literally parts where they're in the forest. I don't know when the last time you saw it was, and they're running from the ring wraiths.
Right, Endor.
Exactly. And it's poorly lit. And it's this low light scene, and you can still see every thread coming off of their cloaks. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. It's incredible.
That's nice.
So now we get to go through the joy of spending a lot of money on a bunch of 4K UHD Blu-rays.
You know, it's funny. I wasn't worried about it, but I feel like I should go buy Snyder Cut on 4K.
One hundo, you should. Yeah.
One hundo.
Yeah.
I rewatched that recently. I think I told you I was thinking about it, but I hadn't committed because it's 4 fucking hours. As much as I love that movie, and I know we loved that movie, it's a deal when you decide
ridiculous.
To watch it. Still fucking phenomenal. I loved it. Fucking loved it. And it doesn't sometimes this, I know we're just rambling right off the cuff. I know that. That's what you're getting now. Okay. With Derek and Chris. But if you've seen a movie a lot, sometimes the slower parts will start to drag more. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you're just get to the next set piece that I really love. But it doesn't. I actually really enjoy all the back and forth still. Anyway, no one knows what to talk about.
That is the exciting part about it, though, is now you get to go back and watch all these great movies that we liked, especially in the past year, in just the utmost quality that's available. Dune is another one I can't wait. I was thinking of watching it on Plex, but I'm waiting. Yeah. I'm waiting till it comes out on 4K, and that's it.
You're a fucking little butt.
That's right.
You're excited to play Demon Souls. I'm excited for you to catch up. I think I don't know what boss that's considered. I've beaten the third boss.
I know it's weird in that you don't do finish level then go on to next level. I think you intermingle and come back and revisit.
100%. Well, I want to talk a little bit about Demon Souls, but I want you to have the ability to play some of it first. So I don't want to
sure. Gotcha.
Give it away. But so far it's been section boss at the end, section boss at the end. There's been no in between bonfire saves. Mm-hmm. There's just a lot of shortcuts, which is great because the level design's really well done, but it also gives me palpable anxiety because there's so much further spread apart.
Yeah.
And I realized not the downfall, but the problem with not having an Estus flask that you could recharge and having consumables, because if you die on a boss a bunch, you run out of those and then you don't have anything to heal with. And I got down really low on the third boss, this armored spider in a cave. I think it was in the trailer. This huge fire spitting spider.
So you have to refarm before you go back and fight it again?
I didn't refarm. I just went to the vendor and bought some, which wasn't crazy expensive, but still I think I got 10 and it was 500 souls or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not cheap either. Sorry. I'll try not to do that very much. But I was just oh, wait, this is going to be a thing. If I really beat my head against a boss, luckily, it seems the damage is, the difficulty is skewed in favor of the zones.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say the bosses have been easy, but because this came out such a long time ago now, you can tell like From Software has really honed what they consider difficult in a fight. So like the spider had a couple annoying mechanics, but once you figured him out, he was kind of easy. It just took a little bit for me to get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey guys, episode 47. Hey. What's going on? This is Derek and Chris. I want to say welcome. This is Cynical Nerd. My name is Chris. Derek, how you doing?
You should
buddy?
commit to an episode just the entire time. You should do that.
I don't think I could keep character the entire time.
Yeah, I don't think people could keep listening either. So it's probably
Hey, what do you mean, dude? This is not very nice for you to say like that. I was going to ask you how you're doing, but you got a PS5, so I know the answer.
It's wonderful. I'm also I have all of the alcohol that's in my house in front of me, which is not much. That sounded worse than I thought it would. It's just some scragglings. I'm actually going to do a healthy boy a couple months. Tomorrow's my first gym day. Got a gym membership, so I'm getting rid of the booze, and I'm going to start eating right, getting healthy tomorrow. So I'm just prepping for that. Having one last night where I'm a piece of shit.
Here's my conundrum. I've done that before. And even my wife has gotten in on me on this because, sometimes I'll be like, well, I'm going to start my diet this week, but next week is Thanksgiving and I know I'm going to eat like a piece of shit. So that's fine. I'll just do my diet and then, continue after. And then it doesn't happen because I know Thanksgiving's coming up. So, and I don't mean getting on me like she gets on my case. She's contributes to this. She's like, well, why don't you just wait because it's Thanksgiving next week?
Yeah.
So she did that, but like the long game. I was like, I'm going to start my diet. She's like, it's Thanksgiving next week and then Christmas the month after. Why don't you wait till after that? And I went, you want to wait till after Christmas? That's like a month and a half from now. I'm not waiting until Christmas. I cannot commit to starting tomorrow though, because my brain will not let me not start on a Monday.
Yeah, so, I totally get that. That totally tracks.
Yeah.
It sounds like Sam might be trying to clog up your arteries, though. That she might be trying to get, I don't know, some inheritance money or something.
She might know a secret that I don't, because there's nothing waiting for her on the other side of this rainbow bridge. There's no pot of gold back here. I'm only a quarter Irish. I don't even know what that means. Okay. So I'm going to start talking, because I can already feel my throat not being happy with me. Also, very hipster cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. I think I told you.
It's called like the pour over. That's what it is. Yeah.
Pour over.
It just honestly, sounds just kind of cunty.
It's really easy.
Yeah.
Just a filter. It's basically a manual coffee pot. Mm-hmm. I boil the water, and I put the filter in normal like you would in a coffee machine, and then I just pour the hot water over and let it run through. I'm a manual coffee machine now.
Right. Do you have like Mumford & Sons playing when you do it? Like, is there any kind of like contemporary meditation music while you're?
Yeah, and I also have like the washboard on and I'm just like stomping my foot,
right?
And I'm just kind of.
You have a vest on. Ugh, it's like off yellow.
Yeah, and it's not because I made the vest off yellow. It's because of years of sweat. Fuck, I gotta stop talking so much. Okay, week in review. First up, Amazon Studios is nearing a deal to make a Mass Effect TV series. Initial reaction. Holy shit, fuck yes. Very rich universe for sci-fi and action lore. You could base it on Commander Shepard loosely or do something totally unique. I probably wouldn't care. Second reaction, please fuck no. Everything Amazon Studios has touched so far has looked like shit. Case in point, Wheel of Time, was it?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing here a whole lot besides this actually came out right before Wheel of Time premiered, I think. Because we missed last week.
Hey, Sadie lady.
Hey, what's up, Mama? Sorry. But yeah, there's nothing. I mean, they don't. There's no synopsis here. There's just a rumor that they're doing a series. So, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. If the Cavillionaire was at the head of it, I know that he was rumored to be for a long time playing Shepard. I'd be more into it just because, like I've said 100 million times about The Witcher, not a perfect show, but his performance really elevates it. Although I will say we just watched season 1 again. Veronica's been playing Witcher 3 and actually we started with the show, but anyway, in preparation for season 2 comes out in like 2 weeks. It is better than I remember. I feel like I had maybe a chip on my shoulder when I went into it the first time. Not that I thought it was bad then or anything. Not that I thought it was bad or anything, but it is definitely better than I remember it being. Like, I think in my memory I had like, oh, Show is 5 out of 10, but Henry's 9 out of 10. And Show is still a good like 7 out of 10. It's just Henry really, takes off with it. I know there's been like, oh, are they going to do, is it going to be about Shepard and the gang, or is it going to be a side story? I'd prefer them, frankly, to just do Shepard and the gang. I know I like that story. They could approach it in new ways. There's some, cheesy, annoying, stupid side missions that they could obviously 86, but the other side of it is exactly like Amazon Studios. Wheel of Time was like, dude, I couldn't even do 2-episode rule for myself. Like, that wasn't even something we were going to talk about on the show. I got 10 minutes into the first episode and I was like, I know absolutely everything I need to know about this show. I will never turn it back on. It is horrible.
Yeah, we're good. We don't need it.
But I'm in, bro. I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going to watch it. Mass Effect is one of the newer sci-fi IPs that I can remember kind of feeling like I grew up with it. It's obviously still relatively new in terms of longevity, but I really love the universe that they laid out, and the races and their various political conflicts and Solarians. Two of my favorite characters of all time have been Solarians, so I mean, fucking go.
Mordin and
Mordin Solace. I forget the other one.
The guy in one, he's like the commander or whatever. I think I know who you're talking about.
That guy. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, that guy. That other Solarian. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, it was him. Okay, anyway, moving along. All right, so switching gears here from a sci-fi video game to a horror video game. Sons of the Forest is the sequel to The Forest, which was very well received. The original game, the indie game that came out as early access, one of the few early access games that did finally release with actual content and was good. And was released in a timely manner. Full storyline in that game. I actually really, really enjoyed the crafting system in the first one. And that's one of the few horror games that, like, maybe it's because I played with friends, but I beat the shit out of the first one. I mean, we finished the story, got all the cool gear in the caves, had a really good time with that game. I always enjoy building in those games. If there's a build mechanic, I'm usually the guy sitting at the base figuring out how the fucking fort's gonna look, because that gets my fucking gets my penis a little hard. You know what I mean? Blood flowing.
In fact, I do. I've played Valheim with you.
Oh, correct. Yeah. And you have. Oh, the monstrosity that turned into. I downloaded that world before we turned off the server because I was so proud of that fucking bridge across the river. Anyway. This looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I mean, to be honest, the trailer looks way better than I think the game ever could and still run optimally. Like, it looks really good.
It really does look good. Yeah.
It's PC only, which is refreshing in this day and age. But they're they're a small indie studio, so you can't expect a whole lot out of them, But I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoyed the first one. How about you?
I didn't. I could never get into it, and I don't know. Maybe I played in early access, but I don't remember there being a story, and I just remember there being like fucking leg people that just combine and throw like leg bats at you, and I'm like, why? Like, why would I be afraid of this? It's like Power Rangers, how they all get together, and then I don't know. It's just didn't do it for me. This seems like it has a story. There was a part where like the fella came in and, protected everybody with a shotgun from the weird baby looking thing from Resident Evil 8. The crafting seemed really cool. The fact that he's like hunting for turtles and he like rips the turtle shell off and you see all the turtle innards. Gross, but like attention to detail is, immaculate.
Yeah.
No, I'll try it out for sure. I hearing you say that, I don't know if I ever did play The Forest like once it actually released, and now I'm thinking maybe I should. We also only ever played with like 9 people in a party, and it is so hard to stay like focused and like to not just have a jumble of sound in your ears when you have a party that's that big. So maybe my experience, I really only loaded it up like 3 or 4 times, and I did put a couple hours in each time, but I never really got into it.
Really? I know that you hear this from other sources, but we should play it sometime. And I don't mean a large group. I mean just me and you.
Right.
Just and do some building. It's I literally one of my favorite crafting games just happens to be a horror game. I'm not even huge into horror games. But they're enough of a threat. They're annoying enough, you know.
Yeah.
They come around every so often.
I didn't know that there were guns, like, for instance. Like, that's how far I didn't get into this game. I didn't know.
Well, there aren't any in the first one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I didn't know then.
Or I think there might be, like, a secret gun or some shit. I don't know. But there's... Oh, they introduced one in DLC, but it was literally, like, dig up the bullets from over here. But, like, it was, like, a secret special thing.
Yeah.
I never played with one. Bow and arrow all the way. All day, son.
Yeah.
All day. I do this all day.
All day. But it looks like it had kind of like a The Thing vibe to it, which is obviously a classic and horrifying movie. So
yeah,
we'll see.
A lot of cool body horror. The thing with the if I remember correctly, there's cannibals and actually like mutants. There's like two different factions of like creature. Like there's like a tribe on the island already, who I think are the cannibals, but there are these creatures that came from this lab. Spoiler alert. Mm-hmm. But they're both annoying as hell. But it's really obviously really creepy if you're even during the day.
Yeah,
like you and I were playing, and you're at the base because you're like constructing a wall. And I venture even a few trees deep to cut one down or gather something, and you see something like you're like, huh, right. Come back, come back.
Yeah, we should play that. That sounds like a good time, actually.
I think we should. And
I own it, so I don't have to spend a dime, which is always a plus.
Sons of the Forest will be released on May 2022, only for PC once again. So looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to buy it. There's something weird going on in this one where there might be like a friendly mutant. There's like almost like a female looking one that's like not trying to attack him at one point. It's weird. I don't know. Whatever.
Is this a full release when it comes out, or is it another early access thing?
It doesn't say early access. It just has a release date. So I mean, they did pretty well off the back of the first one. Good for them.
Good. This next one, I'm telling you right now, I missed. I somehow just so if you could present it to me.
Oh well, I'll try my best. There's the CCXP Worlds 2021 is basically like a Brazilian Comic-Con. Carl Urban was there promoting the new season of The Boys that I believe is still filming. And they announced there's going to be a new animated series set in The Boys universe called Diabolical. Obviously a play off of the main character's catchphrase, Billy Butcher. But it's just going to be set in the Boys universe. There's going to be a ton of talent involved. Garth Ennis, who did Preacher. Evan Goldberg, Seth Rogen, who seem to dip their toes into everything comic book recently, which was fine, I guess. They were also involved with Invincible, which we loved.
Yeah.
Justin Roiland, Andy Samberg, Aisha Tyler, a lot of talent. The series was premiering in 2022. But yeah, it's going to share continuity with The Boys. They mentioned the Animatrix as like a inspiration, which felt weird because I thought this was going to be more, not systemic.
Did you watch the Animatrix? I can't remember. I know I brought that up as good miniseries.
What was your favorite skit?
I don't remember. There was one that was like a feudal Japan that they had jacked into, and I think she was like tricked into killing her master, like just so like to prove that she had the strength to do that if he betrayed her or something. I don't know. It was weird. But the history of the world, I think it was called History of the World. It was like the backstory leading up to Matrix 1 and what happened, how the war between humans and robots started. I thought that was a two-parter. I remember was really good. This though, I don't know. I feel like every like streaming service is finding its like bag, and now it's just making extra shit around it, and it's kind of becoming like a theme that's a little, I don't know. It's kind of annoying. Like The Witcher had Nightmare of the Wolf, and I know they have another prequel series coming out. And I liked Nightmare of the Wolf, but nearly as much as The Witcher. I mean, it was
just fine.
It was fine. Right. Exactly. You have Game of Thrones on HBO making all their spin-off shows, and it's just like, it just seems to be the thing to do. Like, it's just like a cow milking thing. So I don't know, like if it comes out and it's good, of course I'll watch it, but I'm getting leery about this being the new thing where it's like, oh, we had one show that was a success, so we're going to make a bunch of fucking spin-offs. It's like, I'd rather you just focus on the show. Like, I don't know. It seems a little excessive to me.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna bring the mic closer and try to talk quieter. That might alleviate some throat problems here. Some throat problems. Kevin Feige, I actually just took a picture of this news article. I guess Cinema Blend did an interview with him, and someone basically asked, like, obviously if you say, is Daredevil coming back, he's not going to answer you. But they asked, like, if you were to bring Daredevil back, like, who would you cast, or something roughly to that effect. And he said, if you were to see Daredevil in upcoming things, Charlie Cox, yes, would be the actor, which it's just good to hear, I guess, even though we have like pretty strong rumors that he's in No Way Home as Peter's lawyer, as a cameo Easter egg. It's just good to hear, because there's been like a recent uptick in Daredevil stuff on Twitter. I was like, oh, is this coinciding with me rewatching it somehow magically? And the answer seems to be yes. By the way, it's lovely. Every minute of it.
I only watched up to season 2, and I remember loving season 2. And then it's just one of those shows I just didn't do anymore. I don't know why.
So I liked 3. I don't think I liked it as much as 2. However, the ending of season 3, when he has the final confrontation with Fisk, I love so fucking much. Mm-hmm. It's so well done. Because there's so much anger in Charlie Cox, and he does such a good job of displaying it, I guess. He's a good actor, he shows his emotions. That whole chestnut.
Right. I will always love the scene I think it's season 2 with John Bernthal, right?
Oh, dude, the beginning of season 2 is so much fucking fun. When he shows up as Punisher and they have the rooftop fucking...
Yeah, and he says, you know what the difference between me and you is? One bad day. I fucking love that line, dude. It's so good. So good. I know it's been like shifted and used in different ways and like all different kinds of superhero shit, but the way he sells that line is just so fucking good. Fuck. All right, I'm going to watch it.
I love John Bernthal too. I think he crushed it as the Punisher.
Yeah. But I didn't watch the Punisher show. I heard that one was not good.
I did watch it, and I liked it. It got into very sad boy territory because they really do heavily deal with, a lot of his friends are ex-military, obviously, because he was. There's a lot of PTSD stuff, and it was good. Like I said, it's just a lot. It's real heavy in places. In an effort to conserve voice here, this first trailer we're going to get? We're switching into movie and TV. I'm going to let you give thoughts first on the DC League of Super Pets.
I'm happy to. And so just to give you listeners sort of a summation, a summary of what this is, think Secret Life of Pets, but just superheroes pets. That's pretty much what it is. So it's about Superman's dog, and something happens where I guess it was Lex Luthor like traps the Justice League, and some like stray dogs get superpowers to save the Justice League. Sounds like the stupidest fucking premise in the world, but it looks like a pretty good movie. Dude, even Veronica was like, she thought it was like Secret Life of Pets 3 or whatever. And she's like, oh, I love this movie. And then she like saw that it was Superman and his dog. Dude, she sat here the whole time. She's like, this looks really good. We should see it. No, she doesn't sound like that at all. I love you, Veronica. I know you listen to the show. I love you. You sound nothing like that, honey. Anyway, she was really into it. It looks just endearing. It looks funny and cute. She's right outside. She's looking at me right now.
Got you.
Has some good, voice acting talent. You have obviously Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, all the other one. I saw John Krasinski listed at the end. I have no idea who he was, but
I'm not sure.
It just looks like a stupid good time. There's nothing wrong with that. New take on the superhero flick, and I love everything DC's been doing lately. So like, I'm on board.
I watched the trailer and I wasn't going to put it in the doc because I was like, oh, he's just going to shit on this. And I was like, you know what? this was fucking adorable, and I'm gonna put it in there. And it like you said, it just looks kind of fun. So this comes out May 2022.
Shit, Mark Maron's Lex Luthor in that movie. Veronica just showed me. Sorry,
good choice.
Yeah,
that's good casting. It comes out in May 2022, so we can play Sons of the Forest and watch DC League of Super Pets together.
Yeah.
That's what you expect.
Basically, those two things in that year. It's primarily how we'll spend it.
Yeah. Nothing else to look forward to in 2022. The next one's a weird one. Jurassic World released a prologue for Dominion, which is the newest movie coming out. And like 90% of this is prehistoric times, and I get why. To a very, very small extent, it still feels like a massive waste of VFX money. We
already knew that that's how they cloned the dinosaurs from the first one in 1997. Like, we don't need to see it again.
Excuse me. The whole reason I put this in the doc is because the article I found this in was like, the new prologue for Jurassic World Dominion is here.
93. Sorry, not 97.
Oh,
sorry.
Jeez. The article I found it in was like, the prologue for Jurassic World Dominion is in, and like ... Do we just want a CGI dinosaur movie instead of the next Jurassic World? Because I thought this prologue was pretty cool until it went to modern day. The dinosaurs looked phenomenal. The CGI looks phenomenal. It was really neat. And I honestly would probably follow around a somewhat feathery T-Rex much longer than I would Chris Pratt. So
right.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this besides it exists, and I just wanted to see how you thought about it.
I am a toxic gatekeeping purist elitist when it comes to Jurassic Park, and the first one
you're not.
Is the only one that's worth watching. It's the only, and everyone since then tries to repeat the thing. It makes the same point with more time in a less efficient way. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's like, oh, no, you can't tame nature. That's the fucking lesson in all of them. Nature is stronger than the human will for containment. It's just the same thing over and over again. I haven't seen any of the new. No, that's not true. I saw the first Pratt one, Jurassic World, and then I think they did Jurassic Kingdom or something.
You mean the one where they didn't even have the audacity to choose a different island and just remade the same fucking park that failed miserably decades before? That one?
But it's not even that. They take the same shots, the iconic shots from the first one, and they just reuse them in CGI. So it doesn't even have those were practical special effects back in 93. Correction on what I just said 5 minutes ago. It's just it's literally been almost my lifetime. It's been almost 30 years that they're riding the coattails of the first movie, which is a 9.9 out of 10 movie, by the way. Even by today's standards, if you go back and watch it, anybody, go back and watch it right now. It is a fucking nearly perfect movie. So I don't care. I'm not going to see it. They're just not good anymore. And there's always a version of the T-Rex who's this one's amplified in some way. It's all right, we get it. That's the gimmick all the time. Fuck this movie.
Fuck this movie.
Is Chris Pratt not in it though? Because that's actually a plus if he's not. He wasn't in the trailer.
He is in it. I'm pretty sure he's in it. I'm almost positive. How could they not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no, he's in it.
He's their funny joke guy.
Aha.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh boy. Hate it. Yeah, definitely in it. Right? Definitely? Yeah. I haven't seen a picture of him yet. I keep seeing Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah, he's in it. Okay. Anyway, next movie. HBO Max exclusive. Excuse me. Again, digital work, but looks like the claymation effect. I don't know about this one. It's called Santa Inc. Sarah Silverman, Seth Rogen are in it. His signature chuckle comes out probably 10 seconds in. It's hard to, I just black that noise out in my head. It gets automatically beeped by my brain. This is out. It came out the second. It would have been new had to be recorded last week.
Yeah.
But it's out now if you want to go watch it. I have not watched it. I honestly don't think that I will, to be completely honest with you. There looks like this is Red Band. Obviously, they can do some raunchy stuff. I'm sure they do. There's probably, I would say, at least 2 solid jokes in this movie. At least 2.
Right.
And that's, maybe overestimating. We'll see.
Yeah.
It looks like the theme is like, why can't a girl be Santa Claus, which is totally fine and relevant, but the trailer felt very heavy-handed with it, which I don't enjoy. I would have rather, instead of being like, why can't a girl do it? I would have rather have just been like, I want the job.
Yeah.
And then she works for it and she wins it. I don't know.
It portrays every man as if they're like a CEO of a company. Like every single one of them is just like a dude who owns a fucking Armani suit.
Yeah, there's like a corporation who like decides who the next Santa Claus is, and it's of course a bunch of old white guys who keep picking old white guys, and I get that, obviously, totally get that. I don't know.
It just doesn't look funny though. That's the issue. Like it's a comedy and it doesn't look funny, and it's I can't believe I'm just not interested in anything Seth Rogen does that is a comedy he's the star of anymore. Like I'm over Seth Rogen. Everybody liked him at one point, right? I loved him. He was my favorite at one point, but just like Peter Pan, you got to grow up one day. Like you just get rid of that shit. It's the same thing. It's weed. What if we made a kids movie, but we said fuck? Like, all right, you did this with Sausage Party like 10 years ago, and that was a flop.
You didn't like Sausage Party?
I hated Sausage Party. Did you like Sausage Party?
I thought the orgy scene was hilarious. Couldn't stop. I'm a child. I mean, what do you expect?
Do you think there's an elf orgy scene in this one?
Probably.
Yeah. Almost
if for nothing else than to reference Sausage Party.
Right.
And then at that point, you don't even need Rule 34, right? So
exactly. Saved a bunch of weird artists a lot of time.
I was going to say, saved some weird sad guy in his mom's basement a lot of arthritis in his wrist.
Yeah. He'll get it one way or another, you know?
Yeah, we're only delaying the inevitable here. Okay. Another trailer's come out for Peacemaker. Premieres on HBO Max in January. Probably the last trailer for it. Not a whole, I mean, honestly, I know I'm saying this about a lot of stuff this week, but a lot of it's like second and third trailers for stuff here. I'm looking forward to the show. I think it looks fun. I really don't have a whole lot to say. I mean, we've covered these bits before. It's like a small sect of the Amanda Waller Suicide Squad camp. It's with him. It looks like they might have been being punished with this because of, actions that were taken in the movie. If you recall, they basically knocked out Waller, I think, at one point. So they're probably getting the shit stick right now with this whole mission. And, it's playing out exactly as you'd expect. It looks like they're trying to give him a little bit more of a complex arc. They're like, make him realize that there's more nuance in the world to the stupid way he looks at everything. I don't know if it's going to work, but I love John Cena in comedy roles. And the show looks fun enough, so I'm looking forward to it. How about you?
So to sort of like place this on the sliding scale, like I have no faith in this whatsoever, but I'll watch this before I watch Jurassic Park Dominion and Santa Inc. and pretty much a lot of what we've talked about. It looks bad to me, but I'm still willing to watch it. Most of the humor just seems forced to me. There was one line, I can't think of it now. Something about scorpions in this trailer that was like hilarious. He's like, introspection is like scorpions. I can't remember it. I'm not even going to.
I don't remember what the line. Yeah,
there was one really good line in it, but I don't know. It seems like recycled Suicide Squad jokes that just like I don't know. It's like we just did this. We just watched this a couple months ago, and it just seems like a lesser version of that. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. I like John Cena too. I do. I worry that he's the next Chris Pratt, and Ryan Reynolds, like he's just going to be one of the that always shows up and is kind of the same character, but he's goofy. But I'll still watch it. I like James Gunn and I have faith in him. He's not let me down much so far. Even Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I didn't really like all that much, was not a bad movie. It just was nowhere near what the first one was.
Right. And I actually hate 1 more because of 2. I don't hate either, really, but I dislike 1 more than because of 2.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I started off here loving number 1. I saw 2 and it made me love 1 less.
Yeah. Just sort of, it takes up Guardians of the Galaxy space in your brain, and so the overall water level sort of reduced.
Yeah, the water in my head.
Yeah, I didn't mean to just call you a waterhead. That was, I was just sort of doing an analogy, you know?
That's okay, I totally get it.
Anyway, Waterbrain, next topic.
I found the line. He says, cut it out with the introspection. The mind is a den of scorpions, better left running from.
That's what it was.
Not towards. But it's his delivery. It's really funny.
Yeah.
He seems like a waterhead.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up is a first look for Across the Spider-Verse's sequel. Sorry, Spider-Verse's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. There we go. Didn't know there was going to be a two-parter. That was kind of a reveal with the title here. But it's just a quick 2 minutes of some very awesome looking and finished scenes in the beginning of Gwen coming to find Miles to pick him up for an adventure. And then it looks like what a bunch of storyboarded stuff for, unless that was a stylistic choice. But when they went into he's falling through like skyscrapers and highways, it looked like it was very storyboarded and like hand drawn out before they visualized everything. With Spider-Man 2099. And that's it. It's kind of like a sizzle reel, basically. But it made me remember how fucking awesome the first one is. And I'm really looking forward to this. And did you watch it? Did you love it?
I did, and I did. I hate teasers, but I feel like this is what a teaser should be. I don't think that was. I don't think that it was storyboard stuff. I think that was probably a excerpt from the movie.
Choice.
Probably some weird, like he's halfway through a dimensional shift or something, so everything sort of doesn't have defining lines or whatever. You know, you see everything that you need to see. You see that obviously they're continuing the relationship between Miles and Gwen. And you see that they're retaining this unbelievable animation prowess. Just the one thing they do so well, and I just love this. We had mentioned this when we watched Star Wars Visions about a anime studio that, even though I really don't like anime at all anymore, I love this particular studio. There's like this weird perspective aspect to their drawing where it gets like real close to him and sort of parts of him seem oblong, and it just gives you this sense of like weight and like mobility of him swinging through. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's just so fun. It's just so like, I hate to sound like a fucking IGN article, but you feel like you're web slinging with him. Like it's just, you're very there. You're very like up front and present. Was that Spider-Man? Is it 2099? Is his name? Who is he voiced by? I know he's voiced by someone and I can't think of who it is.
I'm not sure who he's voiced by. I know that his actual name is Miguel O'Hara. Spider-Man. Let me see who he's voiced by.
I got it. I'm on it. Oh, Oscar Isaac.
Oh, shit. That's cool. So he was teased in the first one. The end of the first one. But yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. If that is a stylistic choice, it's a really neat one. Because it literally almost looks like 2D animation in that section.
Yeah.
Much like something else we're going to talk about later. Named Arcane.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I feel like I'm not going to get to ramble about stuff I love as much because I'm fending off the coffee coughs, but that's okay. All right. So Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. October 2022. So we have a little ways. We have like 10 months to go, which kind of sucks. It is what it is. If they can keep that animation looking that good,
yeah,
I'll wait.
Yeah,
definitely. I don't know if you care about this. I put it on there because I know you're secretly a Potterhead.
Just a little bit.
Harry Potter's 20th anniversary, Jesus, is coming up.
Yeah,
they're having a special.
Whoopsie.
Coming out on HBO Max on New Year's Day. All the cast is coming back. Don't really know what it's going to be about. I imagine just like a behind the scenes, in-depth interviews, cast conversation, stuff like that.
That's what it looks like, right? And they credited Helena Bonham Carter, and she's all the way dead in the movies, so it would be a little weird. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. Like, didn't they do that with French Prince of Bel-Air or something? Yeah, where they all just kind of got together on the old set and talked about it.
They did it with that, and they did it with Friends too.
Yeah, I would not watch that. I have no interest in hearing them all talk about their experiences on set. If they made another movie, I would be pumped because I'm a closet Potterhead, a clotterhead. But I don't care about like them all getting back together to talk about like, I don't know. That's just not an interesting thing to me.
I could watch Emma Watson talk about anything.
I don't have that like, and I'm not saying this like, oh, I'm better than other people. I don't have that like Emma Watson thing. It's just not there for me. Like some part of that never clicked for me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. People say she's a huge bitch in real life, and I am inclined to just believe that for some reason.
So you should be more attracted to her based off what I know about Derek Ryle?
That's a good point. You may just find the loophole.
Oh, what do I feel going on in my pants down there? All right, let's move on. I want to talk about this last trailer. We're making really good time. We might actually come in not too far over an hour. Yeah. The Matrix Resurrections official trailer 2 came out. This movie is sneaking up on me real quick. It comes out this month, the 22nd of December. I gotta say, dude, I'm really digging these trailers. I know we were like, I think you and I were like cautiously optimistic after the first one came out. It just looks really cool to me. I clearly they're doing like there's some kind of, time loop or cycle that they're stuck in. And I just want to know why. I want to know what's going on. I want to know if that's our Neo, just older, or if it's a different Neo. I want to know why Morpheus is younger, why some people look older and some people look younger. I want to know what the fuck's... I'm curious. I like that universe, and I want to know more about it. And I love Keanu Reeves. He's back with our girl Carrie-Anne Moss. She looks fantastic. They both look fantastic. She looks
great. Wonderful.
And this trailer is like dialogue bit, amazing looking action scene.
Yeah.
Dialogue bit, and then they never repeat. Like it looks like there's so much sick action in this. I can't wait to see it. I really am looking forward to it, which is something I never thought I would say when I heard the announcement for this movie. But how did you feel about this official trailer dose?
It has to be our Neo. I mean, like, not. I hated the line where he was like, "I still know kung fu," but like, isn't that kind of the smoking gun? I mean, that's a line that he said in Matrix 1. Unless somehow like that Neo's memories are implanted in him, which I mean wouldn't be too far off from. But
it's got to. I have a theory. I'll let you finish talking, and then I'll give it to you.
No, pretty much there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, it looks good. I agree. Like the amount of action-packed scenes that are clearly not the same scenes, to me has me like, okay, this is clearly, they have a lot of fucking action set pieces planned. And in my opinion, in a movie like this, that is the most important thing. I think that like when you have a movie like The Matrix 2, which even though your big brain understood it immediately on the first pass, a lot of people didn't like it.
What was that? What was that?
Everybody remembers the highway scene because it's unforgettable. That's what made these movies great. That's what put them on the map. They have these ridiculous choreography, ridiculous cinematography to capture that choreography. So I think like recapturing that aspect of it is the most important thing. The only thing with this trailer that had me like, ugh, was that they have this young fucking chud who's like clearly the Agent Smith of this movie. I don't know in what way, but clearly they're showing like his face overlapping. They're doing this thing, but I'm like, all right.
Watch your mouth. I like that guy. This Jonathan Groff.
Oh, okay. I thought like chud was like much worse of a word than I thought it was. I got a little scared for a second there.
Oh,
I don't know who that is at all. His voice sounds very familiar, but no, I'm on board. I couldn't believe. Look, it comes out like the 22nd or something. It's like 2 weeks away.
Did you watch? Completely off topic. Did you watch Hamilton the musical?
I did not, but I have been meaning to for a long time. But I forgot about it for the past probably 4.5 months until you just said it.
Very good. Jonathan Groff is in it. He's a singer. Very good one, actually.
Well, I love musicals. Like I'm not being a dick. I actually love musicals.
He was in Glee, but I mean, I only know that because he sang a version of Queen, and it was actually pretty good. He's a really good singer, very gifted. Anyway, yeah, I forgot about that. So here's my theory. it is all of what we're seeing is only happening because Neo actually broke the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think it is our Neo, but we know this has happened, 6 times. He was the 7th, or he was the 6th. I forget. I thought he was the 7th.
I think, yeah.
Which, your Jesus Christ allegories and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So, sorry. He was the 7th. And as far as we know, actually broke the cycle, did what they did not expect. As far as we know, they said they brokered a peace, but I think they just figured out a different containment method. I don't know why they would bring him back. Maybe they need him for the simulation, but I feel like they just went back on their word and like started another one. Mm-hmm. And they're keeping him. He's going to this therapist by Neil Patrick Harris. They're having him take these pills to keep him like locked in. They're trying to like lock his memories away. Maybe they did that as part of bringing him back. Because there's these scenes that I had forgotten about where he's like, I remember this place and I remember this and I remember that. And you keep seeing like flashes of Trinity from, the first movie and all the stuff is like coming back to him. And everything's very cyclical.
Dude, the ending in this trailer was so good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
And they have but there's like a younger Morpheus, but some of the programs, I think there was a shot in, I don't know if it was this trailer or the last one, but there's a shot of like the Merovingian from the original trilogy with like a crazy long, like homeless man beard. Mm. Like he looked older than the first movies, like Neo. So it's like some things look older and some things look younger. But he was a program that was like outside the Matrix, but in the Matrix. So I just think like they're just trying to keep it going. They're trying to keep the Matrix running because they need their fucking battery source. And I think they're trying to trick Neo once again. I don't know. I mean, I know it sounds simplistic for that to be the plot, but like the way they're showing this, like there's so many gorgeous action scenes. Yeah. And I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a second wind on my throat here, so I'm going to save it for the main topics. But
the only thing that I would, and I know that like directors and writers throw red herrings out all the time because they don't want you to figure out the movie before you go see it. But the only counterpoint I would have to that is that one of the Wachowski hoes, is it Lena that's doing this one?
I always forget who left. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But in any event, she had said that this was related to the first Matrix movie. And so what you're talking about is more of a relation to the culmination of all three of them. It doesn't, you know what? Let me just leave it at that. That's I know that like directors even maliciously like throw out just stuff to like, oh, don't figure this out. So they make you look that way so they can kind of go this way. But that would be my only point against that. But what you're saying makes an overwhelming amount of sense. So like, my theory initially was that this was the 6th iteration and that they're basically laying the groundwork for the 7th to happen. But what you're saying makes way more sense because why would Neo retain memories from the 7th iteration before it happened? It doesn't make any sense. So I think you might be onto something. That makes sense.
Lana is doing the movie. Lily's the one that walked away.
Lana, not Lena. Yeah. Lily.
It's Lily.
Wait, is Lana's doing the movie, right?
And Lily walked away.
Yeah. So I accidentally said Lena before.
Yeah.
This is a simple misunderstanding of the English language. Happens all the time here in good old New England.
Here in good old TCN town. Oh, you know what we fucked up.
What?
Well, not you. I did. At the end of the Spider-Verse conversation, I was going to say, oh, did you catch that brief frame of Miles sniffing the windowsill? Check us out on Twitter at The Cynical Nerd. We have some fun memes going around right now for Miles being thirsty over Gwen Stacy there. And to be real, she looks fucking cool as hell, right? If you were Miles, you'd be barking up that tree too.
When you sent me the picture of her grabbing the sketchbook and it's just her dummy thick butt, dude, I was at work. It was like 9:30, way too early for that kind of shit. I was in fucking tears. I was like, it was anyway. Go to the Twitter, guys, so you know what we're talking about.
We just got another like on it. It's actually doing very well. We have like 20 likes so far and 4 retweets. Holy shit, we're popular.
Ew.
Now follow us, please, because none of you ever follow us to retweet.
Yeah, please do that.
If this sounds desperate, I don't care. Please follow me. please.
That should be our new intro song. Get rid of the Pokemon thing. Just if it sounds desperate, follow me.
If it sounds desperate, I don't care. Follow me, please. I'll die crying alone if you don't. You can email us at questions@thecynicalnerd.com, facebook.com/thecynicalnerd. You can send us a tweet with a hashtag #FuckTCN if we mess something up. You can also send us, hashtag AskTCN if you just want to be like, hey, Derek, what beard products do you use?
I have a list now.
Are you sponsored by anybody? Do you have a code that I can use?
Not yet, but I'm getting there. Just give it time.
Just give it time. I'm sorry, that was tauntingly and mean for no reason. I'm really just jealous because I can't grow a beard. Okay, so we got main topics.
Hashtag just forget it. I fucked it up. Just go on. Move on.
No, I liked it though. I liked it.
It's okay.
Okay, so we've got a couple main topics. I think only 2.5 I have anything real to say about. So
can I just suggest, I'm sorry, can we just do Lamb and Paranormal Activity first? Is that possibly a possibility?
Yeah. Which one would you like to do first?
Paranormal Activity.
Okay. That's fine. I'll go first. It was shit, mate. It was shit. It was shit, ain't it? All our fans across the pond. I found out we have some Philippines listeners. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, my dad's family. I appreciate you.
I wasn't going to say that.
I wish I knew anything in Tagalog because I would say it, but I don't, despite living with this man for 30-some years. No, it was really bad. It was nothing happened. The slow burn is eventually supposed to, boil, but holy shit, it just burnt at the end. It was just like a haunted hayride. It was just like people on fire. Ooh, it was bad. And the close up of the demon thing.
Yeah.
Just terrible. The rule in prosthetics for horror for 40 some odd years now is if it doesn't look great, keep it sort of in the backdrop, so you can't really make out the details. Why would they go wing and hold the shot for 4 seconds so you could see every
trotting it towards
detail.
the camera?
Yeah.
Every chance you fucking get.
It was a really bad movie, and I hope that this is the last one, but let me tell you something. It's not gonna be. It won't be.
So I have to say, and it's something I've always kind of liked the Paranormal Activity movies for, is the lore behind them. And I know it's basic horror movie stuff, but the fact that she's looking for her mother who gave her up, and she thinks it's for religious reasons because these people look very much like an Amish or traditionalist Mennonite town. And then she comes to find out that they keep this one particular very nasty demon at bay by putting him into a female in this line. Basically keeping her fucking captive her entire life, which is fucked up. That's a neat line. They just did nothing cool with it.
Yeah.
The reveal at the end of the thing, and I was like, what, really? The whole you find a German church with a hole in it with demonic. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go. And then it was real dumb.
Very, very.
All I have to say, don't waste your time or watch it for free if you're really bored. 0 out of 5. 0 out of 5 demon dicks.
Yeah.
Next up on the docket, Lamb with was it Rooney Mara?
Rooney Mara, and then there was the fella who was Queen Calantha's husband in Witcher season 1.
Sure.
And
I don't know anybody else.
That's it. I mean, there was another guy, Lamb. But who was he? Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
A guy from Iceland. We know that much.
Yeah. The question: do you think Nick jerked off at the last shot of this movie? Sorry, I think
Nick starred that guy, the goat man, and then jerked off in a full-size mirror, of course.
So you should know that we do nothing but spoil things here, and I have an announcement to make following that. Please don't let me forget. It's about Spider-Man. So this was a very weird movie, and I'm just gonna go first. Normally, I'm very curious to know what you think, but I liked this movie. It was very fucking weird. Ultimately, it was a movie about loss, and what people will do to fill that hole in their chest that they have, because ultimately, and again, heavy spoiler alert, this farm couple that live out in a very secluded area. And you find out later, you don't know this originally, but you find out later that they had a child and the child passed away. I don't know if it was a miscarriage or if the child actually lived a couple years and then had an accident, but they do see the grave of a child. Something creepy happens in the beginning out in the old lamb shed. We know what happened. There's stories all the time, but there is a weird creature that they don't show right away, which I thought was really cool because I kept going, let me fucking see it. They don't show it, but eventually there's literally like a lamb human child hybrid born. And if you're thinking, well, that sounds fucking really weird, it is. The whole movie's very strange.
Yeah.
They decide to take it in the house and take care of it. I mean, it does like it's intelligent but cannot speak. So it's like they're teaching it like, it's dressed in clothes, it walks upright. It knows how to ask for things. I think they were teaching it like some basic sign language at one point. Not a stupid creature by any means. And they're, for better or worse in this case, for their health, much worse, loving and taking care of this child. Obviously, it's a fucking abomination on the fucking planet. It's a supernatural creature that should not be in the possession of mankind, and that comes to bite them in the asshole. And I mean, they both know she loses everybody basically, right? Everybody else dies, yeah. Or they go away or die basically. The husband gets shot by the father of the fucking lamb child, which is like a ram with a dude's body with a probably big old honking beaver walking around. It's probably had to be. Big old monster cock. Very, very weird movie. I will say the whole subplot of like the mother of it coming to the window as a parent, weirdly emotional to me. I was like very sad for that fucking lamb, and I don't know why. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. I'll give it to you.
So,
how do you feel about this weird movie?
I ultimately did not like it, and there were a lot of things about it that I did like. I thought that the cinematography was great. A part of me was wondering, a good 60 to 70% of the way through it, if I just wasn't in the mood for a slow moving movie, because sometimes I'm just not. Like, but the cinematography was great, but throughout I kept thinking like, man, if I was more in the mood for like a slow burner type thing, maybe I'd be more into this. I agree with the mother goat. I was
more in the mood for bestiality and being
right. I wanted to see the sheep fuck the goat man, and vice versa.
Right.
No.
Sorry.
There were things that it did really well. The mother goat following them around, it was heartbreaking. And there was a part in the beginning where they first grab the lamb baby, and they're walking away, and the mom is following him, and Rooney Mara turns around and just goes like, "Go away!" And the most haunting, like horrifying. I was like, that was a very well captured, well shot scene. When she takes Mother Sheep out to kill her, that was very heartbreaking. Overall, though, I just like the sheep. Like, it was adorable. It was just like a kid, but just a sheep. Yeah. I understood the message of it. It's like you said, they were dealing with the grief of losing a child, and in the end, she basically Rooney Mara's character knew all along that like the day of her repentance was coming. And that sort of like breath that she takes at the end, it was her going like, fuck, I took this other person's kid and now I lost even more. Like, all right, I get the meaning of it. But overall, I was just kind of like, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. It was so snail's pace, and there wasn't even enough like subtext going on to really go like, ooh. It was just like, it was weird, and I appreciate weird for the sake of weird. Sometimes I do. It's like you can see movies that follow like a cookie cutter diagram 100 million times, so it's nice to just see a movie go like, oh, let's make that same point but in a really fucking weird way. But it just didn't do it for me. It just wasn't my thing.
That's fine. Not everybody can get off of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was weird. I will give it, I'll go 3 out of 5 Ramcocks.
Probably 2 out of 5 Ramcocks for me.
Yeah, it's fine. 5 is such a small scale, so really there's a lot of leeway in there.
Yeah.
Okay, horror movies off the docket. What would you like to do? We have
E-Man.
Arcane, E-Man, Revelation. Now, did you watch all 5 or just 1?
I watched 3.
I watched. Yeah, so there's 5 in the first half that came out, and then Revelations Part 2, which dropped like 2 weeks ago at this point, right around Thanksgiving. Dropped the remaining 5, and of course they
do not care if you spoil it for me. Just so you know, like you. Can
I mean, it's a it's a big war, and I have to say, they kind of trade. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I don't care. There's not a whole lot to say about this. I still enjoy the animation. It's still very campy. We talked about it the first time. I mean, it's based off a show that was made to sell toys, so there's not a lot of depth here and there. Kevin Smith is trying his hardest to create artificial depth, and I'm glad he has a team of writers, because if it was just Kevin Smith, it would probably be unbearable.
Yeah.
Because the parts that come through, and I love you, Kevin Smith, but you are not always real great at dialogue. Now, he is good at writing character monologues, I think, as evident by the Clerks films and some of the Jay and Silent Bob bits that are still stuck in my head to this day. But just character dialogue on a whole, sometimes I'm like, ooh, Kevin Smith. Because he wrote some Batman comics that I had signed by Walt Flanagan of Comic Book Man, actually. Who I love you, Walt. You're a really nice guy, but being honest, subpar comic artist. I actually hope we never get a large following, because I would hate to have to defend that to him. He was such a nice guy. He signed my comic. They've done, if you look some like Widening Gyre is one of they have decent stories. It's just not like a high schooler drew the comic, you know? I'm so sorry. What's
going to be great is like, all right, he's never going to hear this episode, but you're going to like run into him at a con somewhere, and he's going to remember you. Hey, Chris, have you been? And then you'll just have to know that you talk shit on him, like, to the internet.
I don't give a shit. I'll come back and delete the episode. You guys will never know. Where'd episode 47 go? Oh, in the gutter. Oh, perfect episode title. 47, In the Gutter.
In the Gutter. Boom.
Boom. Gotcha. I just got to think about which creepy lamb-related GIF thumbnail I can make. It's not going to be censored by somebody. Okay. Back on topic. It's exactly what you think. If you're into the He-Man show, if you like the first 5, you'll probably like the second 5. Spoiler alert, no shit, he didn't kill He-Man. I actually was kind of like riled up on Kevin Smith's behalf about this, because what happened in the first 5, people were like, oh, you're just making the fucking, you just want to put trying to be politically correct and put a woman in the front of the show. Heaven forbid he gives characters, or tries to give characters, storylines that had nothing to fucking do in the original series because they were women. But anyway, I digress. Kevin Smith, after the first 5 came out, was like, you motherfuckers really, it was one of the only times I've ever seen him get mad. He's like, you guys really think that like Hasbro let me kill off fucking He-Man in a He-Man cartoon? He's like, just relax. And he's right, they don't. And He-Man gets his fucking day in court, which is not the right saying. But he gets the fucking power back, and there's a scene at the end, a big huge war actually at the end, where he gets to do some real badass shit. And even though I never liked the original cartoon when he was doing it, I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. That's all I have to say. On to you.
It's weird because it actually does, I think, exactly what it should do, and what it was to me as a kid, which I was never crazy into it, but I was into it. And I think it accomplishes what it did then through the filter of sort of today. And that's to just make a show that's fun for kids to watch. Like, it's just like there's action set pieces and magic and, shit blowing up. And this character comes in at the clutch moment and saves the day, who you thought was kind of a dick. And it turns out he wants to do the right thing. Like it does all these like Dragon Ball Z type things. Right.
Right.
But that's like a kid's formula to me. Like it's He-Man was a kid's show. So it's like the fact that, if I was younger and watched this, I'd probably fucking love it in the same way that I loved Dragon Ball Z. I think it accomplishes exactly what it wants to do, but I am also done with this show. I just don't care. It's not because it's like, oh, it's dog shit, because again, what it aims to do, I think it does well. Right. But it's just like, it has that soap opera aspect. I hate to keep coming back to Dragon Ball Z, but it's always like, right when the hero is about to die, he's secretly had this power all along. It's kind of like a soap opera, like when you start off, and I think his name's Prince Adam, right? He-Man's like human form name.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I never needed the sword. I always wanted to see what it would be like. It's like, oh, okay. Like you never needed it. All right. Because the whole first fucking season was about this sword. Now, all of a sudden, in the first 10 minutes of episode 1, you never needed it to begin with.
I will say, though, as far as stupid plot devices go, I thought it was kind of neat.
Yeah, and I get that, like, he has too much power in that form. He's like sort of the Hulk kind of. But no, it's flashy. It's just it's dumb fun. But that's it. That's it. I'm tapping out. Not even in a malicious way. Season 1, it was malicious. I was like, I'm telling you, I was a part of the people that said, you know, that this seemed like a woke thing. Like, because Kevin Smith has gone on record before in the past saying he never even watched He-Man. He never even cared about it. But no, it has nothing to do with that. I just don't. It's just not. I'm just done. I gave it the attempt, and I hope that people who do enjoy it continue to enjoy it because it's very well animated. It's very well made, but it's just not my thing.
It's not my bag, in it.
Not my bag, in it.
Like in your bag? I don't know. Whatever. Me and my wife finished watching Ted Lasso 1 and 2 together like 2 weeks ago. And for like a week, she was just calling me a knob. Like every
nice.
You fucking knob.
I wish we would just like continue that. I like whenever we stream something and we do the British thing and clearly just alienate any British people.
Sir Tobe gets super. Shout out to Sir Tobe. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, hey Tobe. He's not British though. I don't know why.
What's up, Sir Tob Knob? Well, you're British down to me. Take that. Take that.
We got it.
Who was I thinking? Was Stereo in his name?
Comp sound.
Comp? Yeah, sure. Sound is there. That wins. Is he across the sea?
He's across the sea.
All right, ain't it? I'm so sorry. If he ever listens, I'm sorry. I'm not, but I am. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if I had to defend that to the death, I'd ultimately tell you that I think it's funny and stop being offended. But, you know, I am sorry if you're offended, but not really.
Now, on to the last two things where I wouldn't tell you how I felt about Hawkeye and you wouldn't tell me how you felt about Arcane.
Okay. Let's, what would you like to go first with?
Hawkeye.
Oh, okay.
All right, Arcane. Let's do it. Arcane. Whatever.
Hawkeye's fine.
I literally just picked one out of nowhere.
Hawkeye first. Okay. Well, I want you to go first because I'm going to get I want the steez. You know what I mean? I want the just. Give me the just. Give me the just.
It's good. It's good. It's fun. It's a really fucking good time. It's out of all the MCU shows, Loki was the best by far. It really was great. But WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, terrible shows. This is really good, and I think what's good about it is that it's just trying to have fun. It's not like, now we'll see if it gets there, but there's no like time rewriting, reality reshaping bad guy that's like realigning the fucking shape of the universe or anything. It's just like, there's bad people out there and we got to stop them. Like that's the whole. I
actually really love that the premise is so grounded in that it's like, oh, right, when you were murdering everyone in sight for 5 years because your family was dead, that's coming back to kind of bite you in the ass. Like, okay, I like that idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like Haley Steinfeld or something.
Steinfeld? I think it's Steinfeld. Yeah.
She's doing a really good job as holy shit, whatever her name is. Sorry,
Kate Bishop. It's okay.
Kate Bishop. I never really liked
Hawkeye.
What's that?
Is it AKA the next Hawkeye?
Yeah, I never really liked Jeremy Renner, but like I'm starting to. I just hate his face. He has a dumb face. But I don't
hate his face. I hate his hands. And it's such a weird thing. I'm picking on him physically, and I shouldn't because I'm a fat piece of shit right now. And I'm sorry, Jeremy Renner, but she got the weird club fingers, and they look huge. I'm so sorry. Buddy. I like Renner. I think I like Renner. I think he's a good actor, but he's just got this bulbous fingertips, bro. I can't.
He is killing it in the show. He is so fucking likable in this show. And
his comedic timing has been really good.
It's been very good, and it's been it's not like normal, like on the nose, like MCU humor. It's just like simple, funny, sarcastic type stuff. He's really pulling it out of the bag, man, because he's obviously we joke about it all the time in the show. We have for the past over a year now, how he's like the lamest Avenger.
I fucking hate Hawkeye.
Yeah. But he was good in Endgame. I'll give him that. Like his arc in Endgame was good.
Well, yeah.
And I feel like maybe it just took that much time for his character to become, to
write in actual good, storylines for the guy with the bow and arrow.
Right. There's the scene in episode one. There's the
guy they stole from the Renaissance Fair.
Dude, I have to say, hang on. Like our joke is always like, oh, my superpower is having first place blue ribbons in archery competitions. And the show opens up with a fucking rack of archery ribbons. So it's like, oh my God.
Yep.
Of course they were Kate Bishop's, but, no, it's good. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's really cool. Episode 1, there was that scene where they were watching like the Steve Broadway show or whatever, and he kind of started to get all like weird when they brought up Black Widow. Yeah. Like I thought that was like that wasn't like a tacked on dumb thing. Like I get that. Like it felt, it felt genuine.
You know why? And I'm sorry to put a pin right there, but just because I would like to partially address the point that you just made. You know why I think that worked? I wouldn't even call it an emotional moment. Like you said, he just got kind of weirded out by like seeing her dancing on stage. And I think it worked so well because they didn't dwell on it.
Yeah.
They didn't try to have like a face on the camera as he's like crying in a corner, or
and
they
like
didn't draw it out
of like them together.
Right. Right. It wasn't like 10 minutes. It was like he felt weirded out. He left. His kids came out to check on him, and they moved on. And his fucking daughter said the nicest thing, like, "Oh, I know she was like your best friend," and that was it. That was it. They just moved on,
dude. And that's the other thing. Like now that I'm a dad, all these father-son, even father-daughter scenes just fucking ruin me, dude. Just totally ruin me. I know the main point you want to talk about in the most recent episode.
I don't think you know me like that.
Take it from you. But overall, I mean, that's it. It's fun. It's simple fun. And I think that's what this...
It's Kingpin! I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think that's what the MCU needs. It's just like... The funny thing is, when they opened up with the Battle of New York, I was like, ugh. Like
I knew
they're just gonna tie it into this every fucking step of the way, and that's it. They just showed like that's why Kate started to look up to him.
Yeah,
and that's it. We don't need to keep referencing that. Like it's over now. And since then, I've been having a lot of fucking fun with this show, dude. It's really good. It's really well done. It's like has that like we said from the trailers, it has like a Die Hard feel to it. It's just like goofy, saves the day type fun. Simple.
Kind of like what's gonna happen next type of thing. But I'm really happy.
Like what's gonna happen next? You have to say it like that though.
Florida. I really have enjoyed the show as well. I'm very happy that you did too. Because if you didn't, I honestly was gonna have trouble reconciling just our friendship in general.
Right.
I'm kidding.
It'd be hard to have an episode at that point.
When I was watching this, and the first episode happened, and I saw the backdrop of New York. Didn't bother me because I think Marvel tried to do this with the TV section when it was a separate entity, right? Like the Daredevil show when it first came out was its wholly own thing, but they referenced the Battle of New York. That was like their connection point to the MCU. Mm-hmm. And I think because they did that, but it was so hastily after the Avengers movie, it felt tacked on and cheap and not earned. It felt like, oh, that's your cheap entryway into the universe. Fuck you, whatever. Despite the fact that I love that show, horribly love it. Like,
yeah,
the best / worst kind of love you can have for a TV. I fucking love Daredevil so much. Anyway, but now I'm totally okay with it because there's been enough time. It's literally been almost a fucking decade. How old are we? Since the Avengers movie came out in 2012. It's been 9 years.
That on? You didn't have to say that.
Well, I'm so sorry. It's literally been, just about a decade. And it, to me, like, how else do you properly show with clearly what Marvel's doing, which is introducing the next generation of superheroes one by one. Then to show, and I thought it was beautiful for the same reason that you did, which is that it's so simple. Mm-hmm. Like, why does this young teenager who has the world in front of her, ostensibly because she's rich, want to be fucking Hawkeye? Oh, because of this scene where she's a little, it makes me emotional fucking saying it, and I'm so stupid for it. She's a little girl and she's horrified and she's scared, and there's aliens, literally aliens attacking the city. And, Hawkeye fucking saves her, and she sees this scene. This show recontextualized a scene I hated so much in Avengers into one that I love in this show, which is that, and I only hated the scene because I hate Hawkeye. Historically, have always hated Hawkeye. Try to type Hawkeye into my Twitch channel. You can't. It's banned. The word's banned. Hawkeye is banned.
Wait, you're being really?
I'm 100% serious. I banned it as a joke because my buddy liked Hawkeye, and I was like, he's literally the worst superhero, and I banned the word, and he got really mad at me. I'm rambling. I apologize. But coming from, arguably the worst or like the dumbest or like the most underpowered and not interesting superhero in the Avengers film, who they literally had mind controlled for 80% of the film. Because that's how little they knew what to do with him, was he was just mind controlled. To this beautiful scene, and I don't want to dwell on it any more than this, but of this little girl that's who came to her rescue. So everyone else might love Iron Man or Hulk or or Captain America, but that's the guy.
And I think she ties the memory of her dad dying to like seeing him fuck shit up.
100%.
I think that's
100%.
like why, yeah.
And she
her
also
whole thing, like the jokes with her, like you have a branding issue. I don't know. I just think those are well done. It's like it's almost like my only issue with it's not even really an issue. Is it's almost like Disney's trying to be meta about how people don't like Hawkeye, but they won't say people don't like Hawkeye. So they're finding this weird way, like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like, just say it. We all know it. Just say it.
Historically, I have always liked Renner as an actor. I just haven't liked the character of Hawkeye. And yeah, same as you. I think the series is great. I won't reiterate all the same points, just for the sake of time here. But there's only been one thing that I thought was stupid so far, and that was the parts of the car chase scene. So a lot of that was filmed like real. Like there was a camera mounted in the car. There was like one long take, and which was neat. But there were parts of it that were CGI, and they were so bad looking to me that like stuck out about how poor they were. I think it was after the Christmas tree era, whatever the fuck that was. Mm-hmm. I think something that's really endearing about this show so far is she clearly is like, oh my god, you're Hawkeye inside, but doesn't do it to him. Like the first episode is literally called "Don't Meet Your Heroes," and it's because he's kind of a letdown to her. He's like, don't be a superhero. It's a bad idea. Who are you? You're a kid. You're nothing. He doesn't say nothing, but he's basically dismissing her, trying to move on, get back to his family, which is frankly understandable. But she doesn't. There hasn't been the moment yet where she's like, "You're the reason I'm." She's kind of alluded to like, you're. I don't know. She hasn't like geeked out on him, I guess. Yeah. Like she hasn't been like, oh my god. And you know that she wants to. And I hope it comes to the surface in some really sweet way. I mean, it already has a little bit. You can see he gave her a compliment in the last one on the subway. Obviously it was played as kind of a joke because he didn't have his hearing aid in, which I wanted to talk about too. So he's like, "World's greatest archer, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think you are," or something like that. And she's like beaming. Like she's so happy that she's got the approval of like this person that she idolizes. And I thought it was really sweet. The hearing aid thing, I like that a lot. I think it humanizes him.
That's the best part about it. It's like there's so many, like we've talked about it in the past with like who's on Tony's payroll, and there's so many like real questions that would weigh the movie down if you like inundated it with, you know what I mean? Like bringing those things up constantly. It's like, all right, we're watching a movie at some point, but bringing those, like peppering them in from time to time does make it feel like it's a more lived in world, that there's like, oh, how'd you lose your hearing? And it shows this montage of him like explosions going off and, flying through glass panes. He's like, it's hard to say. I thought that was a nice touch too.
I thought that was a great joke too, because not only was it like they're not trying to go, oh, in this scene in Avengers was exactly the moment when he lost his hearing. He was like, I don't know, I've been around too many fucking loud noises for years. And then, of course, they showed like the literal Avengers compound exploding above him, which is probably when the most of the damage happened. I like that, and of course, there have been rumors that Kingpin Wilson Fisk from the Daredevil show might make an appearance here, and it looks like that is going to be the case.
That was him. All right, let's just
100%. Yeah, 100%. So there's the episode 3 focuses a lot on Maya, who is her name is Echo in the comics. She's a deaf hero, and there's more evidence here. I don't know how much you know about her, but she is. There's a famous Hawkeye run that this show is based off of, and they're taking a lot from it. So Clint needing a hearing aid is from that. However, it also lines up with real life because Jeremy Renner is hard of hearing and needs a hearing aid.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, fun fact. Not. Yeah,
well, so not so fun for him.
Yeah, well, it's true. So like when they did that, he was like, "Oh, this is really relatable for me because I am, In the comics, Maya is an agent of Kingpin. He runs the gang. She's like a, she's like a what was her name? Elektra. Yeah. She kind of works for Kingpin on the side sometimes, and then I forget exactly what happens, but she sort of gets like not freed from his control, or he gets put away or something, and she sort of like becomes an anti-hero, and then she actually joins the Avengers at some point for a little bit. And if you saw Disney Plus's slate, Echo is getting her own show.
Oh, really?
So I'm pretty proof positive she's going to end up being, if not a good guy by the end of the show, at least and not a bad guy.
Yeah.
But they show her story, which is kind of heartbreaking. Also, that actress is deaf in real life. And in an interview, she was talking to the reporter, and she said that she thought it was really sweet that when she started the first day of filming, a bunch of the actors, including Renner and Haley, had learned some basic sign language to talk to her. I thought that was really nice. The dad in me really, really loved that. But in the comics, she's related to Kingpin. There's references to Uncle, who's above whoever's the tracksuit mafia, which is laughable, but doesn't really bother me for some reason. Because who cares? They're useless goon fodder for the show. I don't care what they're called.
It kind of bothers me. Like, this is one aspect of the show. I'm like, dude, every time they're on screen, they have to like, oh, bro.
No. It's bro.
You're really good at
that. But yeah, so there's a little scene when she's a little girl and they're going through like, she was trained in karate from a young age. They're just showing us how she's the capable woman she is in the show. And her father, heartbreaking scene when he gets killed. Another reason for her to hate Rodent and track them down is because her father and a bunch of her family, quote unquote, in this gang were murdered by him during that 5-year stint during the blip. Uncle is going to take her home from her karate practice, pinches her on the cheek, and a very clearly Vincent D'Onofrio laugh comes out of that person.
Yeah, it's very hearty.
Very hearty laugh. There's cufflinks. I know that seems kind of like no shit, but like he was really in the cufflinks in the show. It's a really nice. People have gone into so much more depth about this. I mean, they mix his footsteps like way heavier than the dad when he walks in. They're like audibly heavier thuds than the light stepping his father does when he leaves. Like he's a really big guy. There are other allusions to it. The auto body shop that they made was called Fat Man Auto. Like there's a bunch of stuff like this could all be tangentially related to Kingpin, which 100% I am on board with. And honestly, I think it's going to happen. And do you know why? There's a tie-in coming up. There were rumors that Kingpin will be officially revealed in episode 5. I think we're coming up on 4 this week.
4, yeah.
If that's true, then Kingpin will show up in the episode that comes out right before No Way Home, where Charlie Cox is rumored to show up as Matthew Murdock. So that would be a little bit of Marvel synergy if they did that that on purpose to go, oh, hey, guess what? That show, those actors that you guys have been fucking clamoring for to be brought into the proper MCU. Here's Matthew Murdock. These people exist in this universe. We're not doing anything with them yet. We're just showing you that they're here. I think that makes too much poetry on paper to not be the case.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited if that is true. We've talked about him before, but he's so well written.
He's
in the Daredevil
excellent.
show.
Yeah. He's a great actor. It's weird that he's not in more to me. I really don't understand why. But I cannot wait to jerk you off in that movie theater when we watch No Way Home. I don't know if we announced it on the podcast, but
that's what I was going to talk about.
We're
going
to
right now.
Date, baby.
Yeah, baby. Like you like Beard in Ted Lasso, which I know you didn't love, but he was like, baby. We're having a little bro date. Your friendly neighborhood co-hosts have got their pre-sale tickets for Spider-Man No Way Home for Saturday after it comes out. So, in rare fashion, we will be seeing a movie right on release, and that means it's coming out on Friday. We are giving an incredibly heavy, spoiler-filled podcast that Sunday, so you literally have 2 days to watch it or delay listening to that episode, because we'll probably talk of almost nothing else. Whatever else is going on that
internet
week.
Standard, by the way. Like when a new thing comes out, you have through the weekend. You have until the weekend. We air on Monday, so that makes perfect sense. It comes out Friday. You have that whole, and if you don't see it, that's understandable, but just skip that episode until you do see it. Because I might going to dissect that movie.
I might even have like a spoiler fucking alert in the thumbnail for it, just
Probably
so you don't
stumble.
I mean, I'm gonna be slinging ropes after that one. Anyway,
also don't come to expect us to see like movies that come out that often. This is
we're both fathers.
This is a very like once in a couple months thing that's happening.
The planets lined up.
Yeah.
My wife's still not comfortable going out. I don't know what Ron, if she didn't care, or
she
also wasn't
doesn't give a shit about Spider-Man.
So it just worked out.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Really, really looking forward to that. Actually,
So
we're going to be celebrating my son's 3rd birthday that weekend too. So lots of stuff going on, even though his birthday is not till a couple days after. Fun story. Last thing on the docket for the day: Arcane, League of Legends on Netflix. I don't want to bury the hatchet. This show was not something I would have ever hit play on if it were not for my co-host here. Yeah, that guy right there, who you can't see. He's there. He is. He's talking. I'm saying a lot. I apologize. It's to be obnoxious if you listen to it and focus on those. You really hone in on them.
It's hard not to.
Yeah,
I do it way more than you though, so I'm not like judging you.
That's okay. Okay. Arcane, League of Legends. I don't care about the lore of League of Legends. I don't play League of Legends. Whatever. The point of saying all that was to say that it's quite an enjoyable show. I like it a lot. I don't really have a lot to rave on it about. I like the story it's so I've watched the first 3. I'm like halfway into 4, I think. And like you said, the story is really starting to pick up now. They've kind of like fast forwarded. They give you so much of that juicy juice backstory to show, how this falling out happened. And I wasn't sure what was going on when the show starts. I wasn't sure if it was going to follow them as young kids the whole time. Cause again, I know nothing about them. So I kind of, as it was coming to a culmination, I'm like, something, okay, I can see, I've seen movies enough to know that something bad will happen. And then we're going to jump ahead. And that's exactly what happened. Heartbreakingly, not to dive into too much detail there, but one thing I got to say about the show is that it looks so good.
It is unbelievably well animated. It looks like a fucking feature length movie, like that type of budget in a show. It's ridiculous.
I paused it a couple times last night, and any frame I paused it on looked like a hand,
like a poster
drawn painting.
Yeah.
But then you hit play and it fucking moves, and it looks normal when it moves. And I was astonished. I did it like 3 or 4 times. I was like,
the voice acting
looks like a fucking painting.
80% of the time is really good. That last 20% is like, but most of what's there is really good. I actually want to. Well, obviously you're behind me because I'm almost done season 1.
Typical spot.
I'm gonna do the not. We usually do the like fuck you spoilers thing. I'm not gonna do that because A, I want you to watch it, but B, I would have if you would have gone back in time 2 weeks and told me that I would like a League of Legends show, I would have laughed in your fucking face. but it is so well done. I have no interest in playing the game. Like, let me be clear. This isn't like, wow, now I'm going to download the game. And the only reason I felt safe watching this was that I read a whole thread of people saying, oh, I watched the show, but like the game is still toxic as fuck. Like, I don't care about League of Legends. And Riot Games themselves said that basically they did not make this show to pull people into the game. And that it's essentially, they realize that people will not play the game, but they want to expose people to the universe in the game. I've heard for years that the lore of League of Legends is very, very good, but the game just sucks. So I think this is their way of going like, all right, not everybody, well, a lot of people don't want to play this game, so let's at least bring that writing out into, a medium that people can enjoy. It's crazy to me that they found the funding for this game. Like, there's no way that this game is not at its lowest player base of all time. But they're clearly making moves now that Blizzard looks fucking terrible. And this show is just great. Yeah, they're trying to come out on top. The characters are incredible. Like, the story so far is great. I don't know. Again, I don't want to spoil, so I don't know what to say other than that. It's just fucking good. It's like, it's more than good. It's great for me so far. I think it just keeps getting better throughout. It doesn't lose steam. It just keeps gaining it more and more.
Is it log?
Is it
better than good? It's great. But anyway, it's better than good. It's great. It's long. I like it. I like it a lot. I think the lore is interesting. I get a very, very heavy Dishonored vibe from a lot of it,
and like BioShock Infinite.
Which is fine. I'm not against it. It's really cool. I like the premise of like trying to harness magic and all that stuff. I'm into it. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I mean, it was 9 episodes, I think, which is not that bad. Yeah, now I'm on 4, so I'm basically like halfway through. 4.5 ish, I think. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to revisit it after I finish the series. We can talk about it as a whole. So we can do those dirty spoilers. Obviously, we are hypocrites. I don't want spoilers, but we'll spoil everything.
We'll spoil if you listen. For you, though. Yeah. Fuck you. It's just we preserve one another's.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Opportunity.
Right. All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. So we will definitely be doing the pod. We should hopefully consistently the next couple of weeks here. We might skip a week around the holidays. It kind of because Christmas falls on a Saturday, and we usually record Sunday or Monday. I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes. It's really gonna there's some content. Here's the thing. This week, whatever, next week we can talk about whatever comes out. But then the week after, literally, will be Spider-Man, and Witcher 2.
Yeah. And
the week after that will be Matrix. And maybe something else. And then the week after that, the 29th is... What was the other thing I mentioned today?
I literally don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
There's something else that comes out the 29th of this month. And
show. I can't remember what it is, though.
Oh, me either. But I know I wanted to watch it. So anyway, there's a lot. There's a lot coming up. I guess we'll play it by ear. I was thinking about doing a holiday watch-along, but after then reciting all the stuff coming up, I'm not sure that we'll have time to fit it in.
Yeah.
But you guys, you know what you're here for. You know what you're in for.
No.
You're here for a bunch of mildly reliable gentlemen talking about
about 8
stuff you've hopefully have already seen. Otherwise, you're just here for torturing yourself. We'll be around next week, and until then, I would like to just declare out in the open. My son has come full circle. He, on his own, decided to rename, I should say, Milk to Milky Bedito. Milky Bedito. Obviously,
a whole syllable in there that just.
So he's almost 3. We're trying to pry him off of milk. He still has it before bed. I think that's his before bed milk is Milky Bedito. Out of nowhere. I was like, I forget what he was like, Milky Bedito. And I was like, you're my fucking dude. I love him so much. That's all I got. Christmas time's a-coming. Oh, so are we. I'll see you next time, I guess. Episode 47 What'd I say? In a gutter? In the gutter? Yeah, in the gutter.
It wasn't a sneeze. I'll tell you that.
Oh, it wasn't?
Oh,
no?
The allergies are coming. Oh, fuck.
Science, bless you. All right, I'll see you next week.
Goodbye.